generally warm in here in the summertime and cold. Welcome to Library Connection. I'm Mandy Cantrell, Youth Services Director at the B.B. Comer Memorial Library here in Sylacauga. Before I get started, I'd like to thank TV47 and Chris especially for all the work they do to help us put on this program. I'm excited today. My guests are Doctors Jonathan and Tara Douglas. They are, I guess, not really new to town, but back in town, right? We are so glad you're here. They have Broadway Spinal Care downtown. We're glad to have you back home, Tara, and glad to have you here, Jonathan.
Glad to be here.
Great, great. Okay, Broadway Spinal Care, is that what brought you back to Sylacauga? Or
I would say family brought us back.
That's
We've
true.
been gone 20 years. We've been living in the Pacific Northwest for 20 years, and it was just time to get back home. We had known for several years now that we were ready to come back, and we had to wait for the right time, so we had to sell our practice there because we practiced for 18 years in the Pacific Northwest and Washington State. So it was good to get home and get things moving along and start a business here.
Good. Well, I got ahead of myself. Tell about yourself. What family brought you back here?
Oh, okay. Well,
I skipped that.
I graduated from Sylacauga High School in 1993. My parents are Ted and Shirley Spears, so there's our first library connection for the show here.
Great.
And once I graduated, went to Auburn and got a textile chemistry degree. Worked at Avondale here in the summers and once a weekend all during college, and also at high school I worked some at Avondale.
Oh, goodness.
And then once I graduated, I moved to Columbus, Georgia, and worked for Callaway Chemical Company there before heading back to school, and in a roundabout way ended up in chiropractic college in Portland, Oregon. And that's where I'm from and how I ended up in the Northwest.
Oh, wow. Now, I know you found Jonathan along the way.
Yes, we met at Auburn. The engineering and chemistry classes overlapped, and so we had classes together. She was the smart one, and I called her one time. First time, I don't know if you even remember that, but I called you to get help with homework.
No,
and then we played softball together, which is kind of funny because neither of us really like softball, and so it kind of, we're kind of meant to be together, and it's been wonderful. 22 years. Happily married, and that's, I think, the thing we're the most proud of, to tell you the truth. But I'm from Hoover, and just glad to be back in Alabama. We love the Northwest, and it was great while we were there, but family really needed us back, and we needed to be back with family, so we're happy to be here.
We are glad you're here, and I know your parents are so glad that you're here. But you went way out west. Is that where you went to school, in Washington?
We were in Portland, Oregon, so we lived in Vancouver, Washington, right across the river from Portland. So basically lived in the Portland area most of our time we were out there.
Okay. Well, that's quite a change from engineering to chiropractic.
It is in a lot of ways, and then strangely, you have some things that still pertain, even though I have a chemistry degree and Jonathan has an engineering degree. There are little bits and pieces.
We like to fix things. I mean, that's essentially what we do. Tara and I are always working, either remodeling houses or remodeling old buildings or remodeling people. It's the same kind of thing. And so we say we don't really work. We just enjoy going in and helping people solve problems, and that's really all we do. We work with we get to talk to nice people all day long. We get to see them not doing good, and then we get to see them doing a lot better. And then we get to learn about their families, and then it becomes a relationship you build, and it's such a nice thing that we decided to do. We didn't realize going into chiropractic how nice it would be to create these relationships, and it was really hard leaving a practice of 18 years because those people are family, and there was a lot of crying, and there's a lot of missing of those people, but we're kind of rebuilding that and meeting new people, and it's fun.
Here, forming new relationships.
That's correct.
It's like almost having a new work family, a new patient family, because we like to have a fun office and enjoy talking to patients and enjoy trying to make it a fun place to go, because when people don't feel good, they want to go someplace where they feel comfortable, and not only are we trying to help them feel better, physically, but mentally a nice place to go to.
It needs to be a place where it's fun and you're cared for, and that's wonderful.
correct.
That's great. Now, your office is where the old McIntyre drugstore was.
Yes.
How did you come about getting that office?
We looked, I got some pictures coming up now, the old Mac and
good,
Ted's back
yes.
there. We looked at a lot of different places, but since Jonathan and I really like older buildings, older architecture, when we noticed that one was for sale downtown, we just jumped on it because we wanted to be downtown also.
Yes.
That was our preference.
Oh, yeah.
So that picture is actually the not a public room. That's our private room, I guess. So
But people can see it if they
yeah,
want.
people can see it definitely. They can
yes.
come by. Anybody's welcome to see it. But we had such a huge space. We didn't need all of that Mac and Ted's building, but it was available and it was the perfect thing for us. So we set it up. Tara has the most beautiful Pilates rehab room, and that's her fun
Yes.
room, and she gets to do all that. And then we talked about what I would like to do, and I really wanted to have a pool table because if we're in between patients and have a little bit of
Sure.
time, so. But we saved the old Mac and Ted's backing. That's what's behind that pool table, and then there's Tara's
there's my
Pilates room.
Pilates
Let's just run through these, and you
Okay,
can tell
perfect.
us about it.
Okay.
That's the Pilates room. You said,
Yes,
right?
so
Okay.
we have our chiropractic side of the office. That is the front desk and the reception area. We actually, here's another library connection, we're able to repurpose some of one of the old circulation desks to make the front desk, and that's Jonathan's artwork on the front of it.
Oh goodness.
Yeah, and that is some of the old Mac and Ted's. To the left side on the screen is one of the old staff doors. It was pretty rotten, and so we just cut it up and
Yes.
created that with the old mirror, and then that is an original magazine display rack from Mac and Ted's.
Oh
So
my goodness.
yeah.
I've probably seen that.
Probably.
And that's our hallway, obviously. We have our chiropractic office on the right side, and on the left side is where we have Pilates and the pool table room, and then we've got a community art space, basically a gallery up front. But
Right.
we tried to salvage as much of the original building, the original Mac and Ted's and the businesses before. And this picture, you can see we were able to save the ceiling. A lot of the ceiling had water damage, so we weren't able to save it throughout the clinic, but we did try to pick tiles that would look period correct and Art Deco.
Yes.
And so in the front area of the office, we're able to save all of the old tiles in the ceiling.
That is so nice. And those of us who've been in Mac and Ted several times, I've eaten many a grilled cheese there as a little girl. It is so nice to see the old pieces saved.
Yeah,
that was
people
such
love it.
a part of Sylacauga history. So
We hear so many stories, and everyone asks us, are we going to serve them a hamburger or grilled cheese? Or
Yeah.
everyone has their favorite thing they ate at Mac and Ted's.
Yes.
And
Grilled cheese. That was
And we've
fun.
had people tear up actually coming in there because they think about sitting with their dad and they looked in that mirror. I mean, it's the same mirror, it's the same setup, and they think all the times they sat there with somebody who's not here anymore, and that's all saved. So we worked so hard to do. It's not easy during construction to take old stuff and save it, but Chad Reams and his team, I mean, they were so great with that, and they went above and beyond because I was so meticulous about don't touch this, and they were so nice about it. But it's just amazing. We saved it all. We've got every component. We're going to restore it completely, and it's going to be beautiful. That old
Wow.
backing.
So you have more work yet to do.
Oh my gosh,
huh?
so much more work.
got some more to do.
Wow. Well, we're going to pause for a commercial break, and we'll be right back and talk some more with Tara and Jonathan.
The Maxie Veazey Senior Adult Activity Center offers the senior citizens in the Sylacauga and surrounding areas lots of fantastic activities throughout the week. Sewing, ladies bridge, quilting, game-o-rama, ceramic classes, bingo, travel club, and lots more. It's all at the Maxie Veazey Senior Adult Activity Center located next to the J. Craig Smith Community Center in Sylacauga. Don't spend any more time alone. Get out, make new friends, and have fun.
Sylacauga's best kept secret? No more. Harvey's on Noble is the place to go for the area's best food and drinks. Whether you're in the mood for steak, burgers, salad, seafood, or dessert, Harvey's on Noble will not disappoint, and the atmosphere is perfect for catching the big game or just relaxing after work. Harvey's is open for dinner Wednesday through Saturdays, so round up the family and we'll see you at Harvey's on Noble, downtown Sylacauga.
Great. What am I going to do now?
Time to visit Brown's Auto Collision.
No problem at all. We've contacted your insurance company and we can get you back into original condition right away. And I just want to remind you that all of our work is covered by a lifetime warranty. We're done.
Wow, that was easy and looks great.
Brown's Auto Collision,
where quality is no accident.
Welcome back to Library Connection. I'm talking with Jonathan and Tara Douglas from Broadway Spinal Care. We were talking about your office was the old Mac and Ted. How did you find out more information about the building and everything?
Well, we actually talked to the library and were able to get a good bit of information. Joe Andrews was there at the time, and she did a lot of research, and I think Nelda Vogel helped her at that time. And they were able to give us all of the history of the building. It was originally a Ben Franklin store, which is a 5 and dime, 5 and 10 is a craft store, but they sold a lot of items there. And then it was under a different name, but still a Ben Franklin store after that. And then it became an Apple supermarket, a grocery store of some sort.
Wow.
And then it became Mac and Ted's after that, because that building's been there since the 20s.
Oh,
so it was a lot of different things before Mac and Ted's came in, but of course Mac and Ted's has been there the longest, and we all remember Mac and Ted's, or most of us remember it.
Well, that is interesting.
Yeah, it was fascinating, and they found one picture for us of Mac and Ted's, and we had, in the move, I didn't know where it was, and I went back to the library searching, and Catherine was able to help me find it. She knew right where to go and helped us look for things and helped us try to find some advertisements, because we wanted to see, okay, what were some of the old Mac and Ted's advertisements like? And apparently they didn't have to advertise too much.
I guess
some point toward the end, a new pharmacist bought it, and he had a few advertisements, but we couldn't find any of that. But she did find that picture again, and then I found the original that Miss Jo had gotten for us. So
how neat!
Surprisingly, though, so many people have memories of Mac and Ted's. We cannot find any pictures of the inside of Mac and Ted's except that one. And we've talked to everyone that we know. And so if anyone knows how to find a picture, just an old family photo maybe of them hanging out, because every single person we talked to said, oh my gosh, I was in there all the time, I did this and this, but I guess nobody ever took a picture.
We didn't take pictures.
Yeah, I know. We think about how many pictures we have on our phones now, and you can have 300 you take of your dog one morning, and now it's like, okay, we can't find any of Mac and Ted's. We searched I've been at the library looking through old newspapers, looking at all of the old yearbooks from Comer, from Sylacauga, because people were saying, oh, everybody went there. I'm sure there's some photos, but I can't really find anything that says it's Mac and Ted's. But
and there's an old phone booth too, apparently, that disappeared, and everybody talks about how much they love that. We'd love to know if that is still around and available.
There was a phone booth?
Apparently there was a phone booth.
We hear all kinds of stories about the phone booth.
Yeah, the phone booth comes up all the time in stories.
Wow. Well, if you know anything, please let us know, let them know. That is interesting. Wow. Well, that is what it used to be, but now it is Broadway Spinal Care. What type services do you offer?
Well, we have chiropractic primarily, and then I'm also certified to teach Pilates. And then we've got our little art gallery, and Jonathan does some art. So we've got several different things going on in there.
What is Pilates?
Pilates is a type of exercise, and I do have a lot of people ask me, what's the difference in Pilates and yoga, or they've never heard of Pilates, and they'll go online and Google it and come back and be like, I can't do that. But it's not that. Pilates it's all about helping you gain proper posture, learn how to use your body correctly. So we start with the foundations of Pilates, which is breathing properly, making sure that your pelvis is in a good spot, and that you can activate your abdominal muscles, that your shoulders are in a good spot, your neck is in a proper position.
Well, I feel like I need to stand straight.
And I know, I feel like I have to be okay on here too.
I'm sorry,
but then you have to build from there. And so, it's everything from people who have not exercised that need to know how to move the body properly, so that when they do their day-to-day things, they don't hurt themselves. Or if they want to take that and go to group classes or walk, or build an exercise program from those basic principles. But then you can also get to all that complicated stuff in Pilates if you want, that people are seeing when they look it up to see, I wonder what Pilates is, what is she doing there? It's anything in between that you need. But we found that it helps patients so much. If we can get patients to move and to exercise and to have that better posture and use the body better, they don't really need us that much, quite frankly. And so we thought it'd be great to offer that. And I started taking Pilates classes, just fell in love with it, started training, and thought, okay, this is something that'll be good for us to have access to.
Good. When are your classes?
I do private sessions, and so they are an hour, and I do those Monday through Friday when people need me. But then I also have small classes that I do. Right now I'm just doing a Tuesday and Thursday morning at 6 a.m. and then I have a Saturday morning at 7 a.m. most Saturdays. But classes are $15 to come in for a drop-in rate, and then the individual sessions are $50.
Well, that is amazing. And you have everything at your office set up for that.
I do. I have
That's
all the
right.
equipment. I'm certified on all the different Pilates equipment.
Good,
So
good.
I've got the reformer, the Cadillac, chair, barrel,
Wow.
all those things that are foreign names to people, but I've
To
got
us.
it. I've got it.
Good, good. That's neat. Now you teach classes, right, Jonathan?
We
On,
teach nutrition classes also, and we always have. And so we have one of the worst business models, I suppose. We always try to get people to where they don't need us. And that's always been our, and that really works because people like you when you try to teach them things where they can do things themselves.
Right.
And they always tell their friends because that's exactly the opposite of what they typically get. But Tara's very humble. She takes people who can't get on the floor and get back up, and she gets them to where they can do everything in life. And so the combination, we always offer people, they can come in and just get adjusted and feel better, and that's perfect. And a lot of people do that. And then we also offer them, they can come in and they can learn how to do exercises and things at home, and that people always do better with that. But then the third level is if they want to do that, plus they want to learn about nutrition and how that ties into everything. People think that as they get older that they have to have pain and they have to slow down and whatever. And we literally have had patients that are 80s, 90s that don't slow down because they did all the things right leading up to it. You can't do everything wrong and then end up with a good result at the end.
That's
you just
true.
can't.
And it's amazing with teaching Pilates. I taught at a facility in Portland where I did my training, and we had people in their 80s that would come in and hop on all the equipment, and they could run circles around people in their 30s sometimes.
Wow.
And it's very eye-opening. So you see that if you use your body, and then if you, even if you just eat things that just don't inflame you, you don't have to eat perfect all the time, then you feel better. You hurt less.
Oh yes.
And it's
we all want that. Yeah.
Yes.
So what kind of classes? I mean, I know they're on.
We're going to have a whole series. We tried starting it in the summer, and the summer's the worst time to get
Oh.
anyone to come to anything at
Absolutely,
all.
yes.
So we're going to start again in the fall, and we've taught so many different classes. There's no set schedule. We try to find out what people would like to hear, and then we just have it. And we're probably going to be doing it in the art gallery space, actually. And I actually got it. I'm kind of crazy in some ways. I love old technology, and so the library had an overhead projector that was sitting in the storage room, and they gave it to me, and I love it so much. And so I'm going to give overhead projector. We're going back old school on this. But
hey,
yeah.
I love it.
We talked to Tracy about it, and then one day I was in the front of the office, and I saw Sarah and Elizabeth just pushing an overhead projector on a cart down Broadway.
Probably covered with dust.
Like, Jonathan, I think they're bringing you an overhead projector.
They said, I've got your dinosaur. I'm like, but that's not nice.
Oh, no. Now, I know they've got up here some of your artwork. Tell us
We
about
do.
You
So-
do, what's it called, metal art?
Scrap metal art
Scrap
is primarily
metal.
what I do, and I also I have a lathe, so I do some wood turning, which is what the base of that is, and then do some carving for the heads, and just love doing that. I love making old lamps, also out of transmission parts, and
Oh my goodness.
yeah, so some of it's commission, and then some of it's just for fun, and that I do a lot of fish and a lot of birds. Those are the most popular. And that's just chain around the outside, and then some old nuts and gears and some old transmission parts as the base. And yeah, love doing it.
It's just beautiful.
And I like to keep most of it, so I'm pretty full now. So I think that he can make things for other people at this point.
Wow.
We're gonna try.
That is neat. Well, we're going to pause for another commercial break, and we'll be right back.
The Maxie Veazey Senior Adult Activity Center offers the senior citizens in the Sylacauga and surrounding areas lots of fantastic activities throughout the week. Sewing, ladies bridge, quilting, game-o-rama, ceramic classes, bingo, travel club, and lots more. It's all at the Maxie Veazey Senior Adult Activity Center located next to the J. Craig Smith Community Center in Sylacauga. Don't spend any more time alone. Get out, make new friends, and have fun.
Sylacauga's best kept secret? No more. Harvey's on Noble is the place to go for the area's best food and drinks. Whether you're in the mood for steak, burgers, salad, seafood, or dessert, Harvey's on Noble will not disappoint, and the atmosphere is perfect for catching the big game or just relaxing after work. Harvey's is open for dinner Wednesday through Saturdays, so round up the family and we'll see you at Harvey's on Noble, downtown Sylacauga.
Great. What am I going to do now?
Time to visit Brown's Auto Collision.
No problem at all. We've contacted your insurance company and we can get you back into original condition right away. And I just want to remind you that all of our work is covered by a lifetime warranty. We're done.
Wow, that was easy and looks great.
Brown's Auto Collision.
Where quality is no accident.
Welcome back to Library Connection. I'm talking with Doctors Jonathan and Tara Douglas from Broadway Spinal Care. We were looking, just for the commercial break, we were looking at some of your art, Jonathan. How did you get involved in scrap metal art?
So in Washington during the pandemic, we shut down. I mean, it was shut down. And so I don't even remember. I started talking to someone about scrap metal, and they had a guy they knew, and then he knew a guy, and I met this really interesting guy named Rat from Mississippi. His name was literally, he went by Rat. He would bring me 55-gallon drums of transmission parts. I know our neighbors thought we were crazy because he would just drop it off this old truck in the driveway. And so I just started kind of putting them together. And one thing led to another, and people liked it, and so I started making lamps, and then I started making birds, and I started making fish, and so I just love doing it. My dad bought a property in Coosa County, and I'm actually now building a shop where I can really have a setup, because it's always had to be a mobile thing where I kind of pull it out of the garage and then I go back. But I'm going to have an actually dedicated art studio, and that's going to be amazing.
But you haven't been doing this for years and years, just since the pandemic.
No, my dad taught me to weld when I was, I don't know, 10 or 12 or something. I mean, we were always doing projects, and so I just hadn't done it in a long time, and I said, you know what, I want a welder and I want to start again, and so just kind of got going on it.
That's great.
And the next thing you know, we have trucks pulling up all the time with full of metal that Jonathan's picking metal out of the back of the trucks. I would hear these weird noises and look outside, and Rat or somebody else would be out there, and I'd hear him on the phone with them telling him, oh, I don't really need anything right now, and they'd come by anyway because they knew he would find some things that he wanted.
Because you're going to use it eventually.
It's addictive, it really is, and you hate to see all that just go and be scrapped, because it's so beautiful, and it doesn't have a use for what it was intended, but it can have a new use.
Wow. Now I know you love art, and you have an art gallery in your office. How did that come about?
We had enough space to do that, and working with Dad with the Marble Festival so many years, and Silicaga's just always felt like an artsy town. We have so many people that are talented and have beautiful art, and you know, other than everything, all the efforts the museum does to have their shows and to have some displays, there's really not an art gallery. So we thought, we have the space in this building, and here we are on Broadway, and nobody wants to stop and look at a window of chiropractic equipment. Maybe they would like to have something pretty to see from Broadway, and we could invite some of the local artists to display their art there. And you know, Jonathan needed a place for his all of his art, and we've got that beautiful space that we're working on. We're not quite there yet. Jonathan's going to build tables.
I've got to build a few tables, and then we're close. But we also are going to have, though, in that front window, so if you look at the old Mac and Ted's building, it's on the right is where the art gallery is. We're going to have one space where we set up something like an old department store holiday, and so we're going to have a Halloween kind of a theme, and then we're going to have a Christmas window, because people used to walk downtown and look at the windows and dream about what they're getting for Christmas. So we're going to have a very similar, we're going to find some old toys and old display, and we're going to have a little thing where people can come up and enjoy the same kind of thing as they used to.
Nice. It's nice to have people walk downtown. I mean, we're doing just our little bit of having the scavenger hunt or a sidewalk story, but getting people to walk downtown and see what there is down there. Places to eat, places to shop, places to go to the chiropractor, all kinds of things.
There's so much. And even though it's changed over the years, it's not the same downtown it was when I lived here before. It's still a vibrant downtown, and you can tell that the city and the chamber and all those people that have put so much effort together to make sure that we didn't lose the downtown. There's a lot there. I mean, I'm always amazed when I start walking around thinking, well, I haven't been in that shop lately. Just scoot in there to see what they have.
Oh, good. That's great. And now, I know you said you're going to display local artwork. Do you have any in there now? You have your artwork.
We have a little bit. I've got to build the tables, and everything has been so overwhelming of getting the practice side, which was the priority, and so now we kind of have that dialed in, and so we're going to start working on getting the art gallery side handled. So the next month, I think we're going to be able to have sculptures in and have it really as a working art gallery. And we're going to have the door open so that people can come in and they can actually go see the art. And if they're coming to the chiropractic side, or even if they're not, it's going to be on display during the days. And our front desk at the chiropractic office is just going to handle talking to people about the art also. So
we've got a few of the sculptors from the Marble Festival. There's a couple that live in Titus that are going to bring some things, and it's a couple that are in Tennessee that come every year to the Marble Festival that will bring some things. Right now we have a couple of pieces of art that Tim Spanger has done. He's got those in there right now, and so that's our next next
The
goal
next-
is to get that done and get it ready to go so people can enjoy it.
Wow. Now, how can someone get in touch with you, and what are the hours of your office, things like that?
Our phone number is 256-861-8546, and we have a website, it's BroadwaySpinalCare.com, and then we also have a Facebook page. You can message. Jonathan answers all of the messages on our Facebook page, and people sometimes just stop in just to see what we've done to the building, and that's fine too. We don't mind giving tours and letting people see that. We're there full days, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, 9 to 6, and we're there half a day for chiropractic on Thursdays, but we have staff there Monday through Friday, and I teach some Pilates Thursday afternoon and Fridays, the private session. So we're around. We just have official chiropractic hours Monday through Thursday.
And I know some people don't really know anything about chiropractic, but you've got some wonderful things on your Facebook page that you've done, lots of videos.
We've been making videos as patients ask questions. We've just been trying to put some of those answers. There are thousands of different techniques within chiropractic, and what we do is different, and also we have tried to put every kind of table we possibly can put into this clinic, so if someone needs something, then we pretty much have an option for them to be able to get that kind of treatment. So we're just really excited about being there and having people come in, and people are doing great, and it's been wonderful.
That's good. I've enjoyed watching the videos that you've made of how your equipment works, because sometimes people are not, I'm a little bit scared of new things or new, new video, all the images.
And we're going to keep trying. There's going to be more and more, and that's on our Facebook page, and then we're going to put some on YouTube too. But we really want people to feel comfortable coming in and know what to expect.
Wow.
Absolutely.
Wow. So y'all have, the business is going. Now you're working on the art gallery and several other things. That's exciting.
Yes.
We've got a couple of minutes left. Anything else going on with you? We've talked mostly about what you do. You have a show, Pet Connect. That's another one of your passions. I forgot about that. Pet Connect, right.
So I'm here at the station every Wednesday morning at 7 a.m. and I volunteer for Feral Dogs of Avondale Mill and the Sylacauga Animal Shelter. So that Pet Connect is centered around all the hard work those volunteers do. We found out about them several years ago and ended up adopting a dog through Feral Dogs. And we were in Vancouver still, but we adopted this dog, and we were here visiting for the Marble Festival, and thought we were going to fly her back. It was craziness.
We ended up driving her
We had to
back.
drive her back because there was a tropical storm style front that came in, and it was COVID, and we couldn't put her on the Delta flight, and Alaska had to fly her. We were going to drive her to New Orleans, but New Orleans was flooding. So we just hopped in the car on a Thursday afternoon. We're like, we got to drive. And we drove her back to Vancouver, and we're back at work by Monday. So that was the story of Ivy coming into our lives. And that's when we really started kind of watching Feral Dogs and what they did. And they've been around 7 years and have sent 7,500 dogs and cats to other rescues, and they've rescued that many animals themselves in this area. So they work really hard, and we've ended up with cats and another dog through them. So it's hard not to have a house full of animals when you see the problem and the homeless dogs and cats out there. So that's just a fun little segment I do, and bring volunteers on and different members of the community to talk about their businesses and what they do.
That's great. Well, y'all are very busy, I know, and I appreciate you coming in to do the program with me. Thank you for coming back to Sylacauga and making our downtown more vibrant, and thank you for joining me on Library Connection.